Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Tara Sky Golden. I'm a naturopathic doctor practicing in Boulder, Colorado. I have a specialty in gut health, hormone balancing, weight loss, nutrition. So I wanted to talk today about intuitive eating. Um, intuitive eating is basically defined as feeling into your body and deciding then and there what your body wants to eat in that moment. Just kind of feeling and saying, wow, I think I need more protein, or gee, I need more energy food. Um, and for the record, I love intuitive eating. I pretty much practice it personally myself. Um, I've been, on this healing journey of my own and working with other people for over 30 years. So I have a lot of experience, working with my own body and what it needs in that moment. And basically, I really love intuitive eating. However, I will say that intuitive eating really only works if you are balanced yourself. So, for instance, if you have somebody who has some real blood sugar issues, hypoglycemia, and they're not very experienced down the road of what they want, they're going to tune into their body and they're going to say, I want sugar. That's what I want. That's what I need to feel good right now. And so I think a lot of things need to be in balance. Your hormones need to be in balance. Your adrenal glands need to be tuned in, dialed in, because if your adrenals are off, depleted from a really stressful lifestyle, you're going to have salt cravings, you're going to have sugar cravings. And that's the adrenals talking. That's basically saying I'm over-functioning or I'm under-functioning from chronic stress. So intuitive eating only works if you're at a certain level in your health. So if you're just starting out on the journey of your health, sometimes you do need to, kind of bite the bullet and do sort of a boot camp kind of change to your to what you're eating. You need to kind of go in there and say, well, I really need to cut sugar right now. I need to cut carbs, maybe. Everybody's going to be different with where they are on the journey. So wherever you are on the journey, you might need to boot camp it for a bit by doing something like Whole30 or, a ketogenic type diet, or, or any kind of food plan that's healthy, or Mediterranean diet. And sometimes that takes just sheer willpower in the beginning before you start feeling better. In fact, in the beginning, you're probably going to be craving those foods that you just cut out. Like, I really could use a sugar right now. I really could use, a big piece of bread, especially, if you're going gluten-free. So a lot of times you need to kind of boot camp it. And then once you've been doing it for a while and you're comfortable with a food plan and you're learning what works for you and what doesn't, and you learn to read the signals of your body, then you can do some intuitive eating. I think a lot of people jump the gun and go for intuitive eating early on and too fast. And then they're like, well, I really want wine, and I really want my bread, and I really want my chocolate, and I really want, something that's, not going to be beneficial for them. Now, there's times, even when you're far down the path and you're pretty balanced, when you are going to say, I want wine, I want the bread, I want the chocolate, and that's great. Maybe you just did a 10-mile hike. Maybe you're going skiing all day. Maybe you've been out, all day skiing, and you're cold and you're tired and you're hanging out with friends in front of the fire. Sure, a little bit of wine, why not? So there's times when that just feels right. The danger is The danger is that when you're not in balance, you're going to prematurely go to the stuff that will temporarily boost serotonin in your brain, like the sugar and the carbs and the wine and maybe the fats, the unhealthy fats like French fries made with, not the good oils. You're going to go to that for that temporary serotonin boost if your neurotransmitters are out of whack. So that's a natural thing. A lot of people, when they're in the winter, when they're depressed, they just crave the carbs, they crave the sugar, they crave the wine. And so that can be, a tricky thing to work with. So you got to be balanced. You got to be in a good place, really good place before you really adopt intuitive eating. I've seen it fail for a lot of people. They're just like, I just want, they confuse intuition with desire. And a lot of people do that. Your intuition comes from a deeper, healthier place than a craving. It's not the same as a craving. It's your intuition comes from a real knowing place. A craving comes from trying to balance out a wacky system, a wacky blood sugar. I find a lot of, I'm not knocking veganism at all, but I know there's a lot of people that don't do veganism properly, and they end up protein deficient, and they end up craving carbs and sugar, and it can be really out of control. And they feel badly, but they're like, gosh, I really want the sugar. Why am I wanting sugar so much? So it's often that they're sort of out of balance. So, the intuitive eating, it's a tricky thing. And only you can really decide where you're at with how healthy you are and how in balance you are. Maybe someone like me, if you're working with me, can say, well, gee, I see that your adrenals are kind of out of balance. Let's get those balanced. And then we can work on intuitive eating. I've also seen people just decide that they're intuitively that they want to go vegan, or they want to do a juice fast, or they want to, just cut something out of their diet, healthy foods out of their diet. And that's good, as long as you're really in tune and you don't start going down a rabbit hole. People with eating disorders, it's really difficult sometimes for them to practice intuitive eating until they're at a certain level of health, because they're gonna be like, well, if they're anorexic, they're gonna be like, I don't need to eat. I'm not hungry. I feel better when I don't eat, because when I eat, it hurts my stomach. So that's something that really need to be paid attention to as well. Somebody with bulimia will be like, they confuse their intuition with, I really want those carbs and that ice cream, and then they're gonna binge. So separating out intuition from craving, it can be really, really tricky until you're really at a certain level of health. So, but otherwise, just to finish this off, I do love intuitive eating. I think it's great. And I think you need to pay attention and really know where you are before you can, really practice it successfully. So that's my bit on intuitive eating. You can sign up, subscribe to my newsletter. You can follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to talking to you again.